Mukesh Ambani owns assets worth 9 lakh crore. He only makes a profit of about 15 to 20 crore a year from his business. Ambani lives in the same globe as us, but our average salary is just around $9,000 a year. The reason Mukesh Ambani is such a big billionaire is because of his dad, Dhirubhai Ambani. If you think otherwise, then Dhirubhai Ambani didn't do anything. You can't just save up money. He's the one who changed his own life. It's not just Dhirubhai Ambani who's a billionaire boss. If you look closer, many of these successful people actually came from ordinary families. In this lineup, there's Warren Buffett, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg. So it's no surprise that a lot of billionaires who became leaders were born into regular families. Even though we have these examples, why are we still running around looking for a steady job? If a businessman makes $1 million in a year, it takes almost 10 years for a government employee to earn the same amount. For a teacher, it's about 15 years. If you look at a private employee earning a modest salary of $300, it would take anywhere from 30 years to their entire lifetime to spend that money. The reason I'm saying all this here is because you must never forget how precious time is. If someone working in a company suddenly loses their job tomorrow, how many days do you think they can survive? How long can the money they have saved last them? If you think just having money means you're rich, then you're wrong. So what exactly is wealth? What should you do to become wealthy? How do rich people think? Do millionaires keep chasing money until they die? Is just saving money enough to be rich? Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, answers all these questions. It's a super practical book you can even relate to in college. Every part of this book is... We're going to explain the tips in this video in a super simple way so you can easily get it. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. Welcome back to Prime Invests. This story is about 2 dads, one rich, one poor. In this book, there are lots of certificates and degrees, but one dad is poor and hasn't even finished high school, while the other is rich. One guy lives in debt because he mismanages his money, and the other doesn't even worry if he can't find the money in his bank account. Here it is. There are people. How does a rich dad build wealth? How does he manage money? What kind of freedom money can give us? This book tells these things to 2 kids. Lesson 1. Rich don't work for money. Poor people and middle-class people work for money. For rich people, money works for them. The author of this book, Robert Kiyosaki, had a friend named Mike when he was 9 years old. Mike's dad was a rich dad. When Robert and Mike were going to Mike's house, Robert saw that rich dad and immediately asked a question. The reason Robert asked this was because he worked at that rich dad's company. He had been struggling, working hard for just 10 cents a week. Robert had 2 questions on his mind. Was it worth all that hard work just for 10 cents? And if I keep doing only this job, will I ever be able to get out of poverty? These questions had been on his mind for a long time. He was running around all over the place. That's why, the moment Mike saw his dad, he asked how he makes money. So, that rich guy said, life gives struggles to everyone. Many people give up. Some people fight through it. Only a few actually learn from it and move forward. Among those few, most people quit their jobs because of money problems. Wealth, he said, is just a chance to learn something new. If you think about it carefully, even we are some of those few. They'll be there. They'll want to learn something new and be interested in it. Once they learn it, they'll get more involved. But if they say they don't have time, they'll just brush it off. Not only that, their life won't change at all. They'll stay stuck in the same place. Whenever you ask, they'll just say, we'll start from next month, and that's it. If you want to be rich, you first have to start thinking like a rich person. Do you know what really holds us back? It's how much we limit ourselves. Even if we work hard, we don't get paid what we deserve, so we end up working even harder just to make some money. This is the reality we're stuck with. In a life without job security, where permanent jobs are rare, we're always chasing permanent employment. 3 weeks of vacation a year, pension only after 60. These things can trap you, but if I say this, many will get angry. The reason we're stuck in the middle class is because of this fear and greed. Without money, what will happen to us tomorrow? We work hard, stressed out because of that fear. As soon as we start earning a bit more, all our greed kicks in and we buy everything we want. Because of that, we end up short on money again. We suffer and stress ourselves out just to cover these expenses. New car, new bike, new shoes, new phone, new house. Our expenses grow right along with our income. Doing this over and over is why they call it the rat race, the rich dad saying. This is the mentality people have about jobs these days. They're saying you won't get the 10 cents I'm supposed to give you weekly anymore. Instead, they suggest you learn how to become rich from me. Robert and Mike agree with this. Robert doesn't tell his poor dad about this and starts working right away. One day, while he's at his job, he notices 2 comic books lying on the floor. Looking at them, Robert realizes these are really old comics. A lot of people are really interested in studying, but it seems like these books aren't selling well. So he started a small library in a tiny room downstairs at their house, putting these books among others. He tells all the kids who finished school there, "Come to my library. I've got these comic books here." He says you can borrow 2 books for just 10 cents a week. Not only that, he lets his sister just hang out and sit in the library whenever she wants. She keeps telling you just 1 cent a week is enough and calling you like that. Now Robert and Mike are making others work for money instead of working themselves. Getting a key license job and earning from it might be just a temporary fix. If you earn more, your expenses will also go up. That's human nature. Fear and greed are what control us. Once you get stuck in this simple stuff, stepping out becomes really tough. But there's nothing that's impossible. Lesson 2. Financial literacy. It's not about how much you earn that matters here. What's important is how much money you actually have in hand. Thinking you'll be rich just because you scored high marks is pure nonsense. The author is basically saying education isn't that important in any way. But the truth is, education is something everyone needs. There might be 10 people who succeed without education, but there are 1,000 who succeed because of education. Education is fundamental. It's important to understand that education isn't meant to make you rich. Our education system is designed to create workers. We study to earn money. But how do we manage that money? How do we grow our wealth? How do we protect the money we earn? Schools and colleges don't teach us any of this. If you want to escape this rat race, the first thing you need to understand is the difference between assets and liabilities. Assets, it's all about bringing in income. Liability just drains your money. Let's look at the income statement now. Right now, you're getting paid for the work you do. But because you're spending money, it's going out. If you cut down your expenses and build an asset, that asset will bring you income. But most of us, especially the middle class, tend to spend more instead of building assets. That's how the cash flow of an asset works. This is the cash flow of a liability. Rich people focus on building assets. Middle class people, they call it a liability when you take on something that doesn't actually make you money. Like, imagine you build a big house, spend 15 to 20 years paying off the loan, and live there, but that house doesn't bring you any income. That's a liability. On the other hand, if you build a complex in a prime location where people want to be, rent it out, and make money from it, that's an asset. Now, say you buy a fancy car for yourself, take a 15-year EMI loan to pay it off, and just use it for your own luxury. That's a liability too. There's no income coming from that. If that's the case, it's a liability. But if you buy an electric car and rent it out to earn money, that's an asset. That generates income. Now let's talk about cash flow. For a poor person, their cash flow is just enough to get by. They spend everything on day-to-day life, like rent, food, taxes, transportation. The sad part is, they can't even set aside money for education or medical expenses. This is how the cash flow looks for a middle-class family. They're just like poor people, maybe earning a little more. They have the same expenses as poor folks. On top of that, there's home loans, car loans, and loads of EMIs like education loans and all. They keep saying stuff like that. The money they earn just goes into spending. If I can't buy what I want, what kind of life is this? That's how they justify working their whole lives. Spending is basically their motto. They probably think buying a big house and an expensive car is just about owning property and luxury. But assets always generate income for us. Say you buy a house today and live in it for 15 years, then sell it. You'll definitely get more money than what you spent. Land like that isn't easy to find. That's what property is, and that's how you make money from it. It's the same with expensive cars. Even if you buy a car for several lakhs, the next year when you sell it, you can only sell it at a cheaper price. If that's the case, how can it be an asset? This is what rich people's cash flow looks like. Their income comes from assets. Dividends come from stocks they bought in the share market. Rent comes from buildings they own. They get big income from bonds. They earn a lot from the businesses they run. Poor people always focus on liabilities. That's why they're always struggling. Rich people always focus on assets. They'll give importance. Plus, they're rich. Lesson 3. Get out of the rat race. Many of us really like having a job, but can't they create assets? It's not like that at all. What this author is saying can be done by anyone, but everyone's situation isn't the same. When you go for a job, you can escape this rat race. Cut down your liabilities. That means reduce your expenses and the debts you took for luxury. Cut down on everything and use that money to pay off your asset bills. Save up the money and invest it in the stock market. Reinvest any dividends you get from those stocks. Don't take out home loans or car loans. Instead, put that money into your business, or if you don't have one, invest it in yourself. Take the money you earn from your business and, without spending it, invest it in real estate. Build yourself a steady income stream like rain. Even if it takes 5 years to do this, keep at it. No worries. But if you were in a rat race, you'd have to keep working for 25 to 30 years. What really matters is how much money you actually have, not just how much you earn from your key lessons. You definitely need to know the difference between assets that can increase your income and liabilities that increase your expenses. Rich people treat things as assets. Poor and middle-class people think assets are liabilities. Lesson 4. Mind your own business. That's exactly how rich people always do. They only give importance to assets. The guy who wrote this book, Robert Kiyosaki, was a salesman at Xerox, which we all know. When you start your career, not everyone can start a business right away. That's why he worked a regular job. But to escape the rat race, he started saving a lot of his income. Not just saving, he also invested that money in an apartment. As a result, he earned more income than his salary. He came back from the apartment. After about 3 years, he quit his job. You can have any kind of assets you want. It could be a complex that generates income, or it could be stocks that pay dividends. Maybe a website where you can learn new things. It could even be a business that runs without you being there, or a YouTube channel where you post videos just for your happiness. Once you start earning money from your assets, that money will keep. You'll start attracting a lot of money. You'll really like it. You can do things you enjoy. You can be free. Every asset you have works for you like an employee. When you drive a luxury car, it's because of their hard work. Key lessons. Middle-class people look for jobs to earn money. Rich people use money to make more money and become richer. Wealthy people try to become business owners. And to do that, they create a system. Their presence. Even if not, they'll make sure the business runs smoothly. I really hope this video was super useful for you. This is just the end of the video, so stay tuned for part 2. It'll totally change the way you see money. Okay, friends, I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our Prime Invest channel. And please share these videos with your friends and family. If you want summaries of any other finance books, don't forget to let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.